Grella, do you think it was a foul?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a referee, right, in a day and age, and maybe the world's always been like this, but in a day and age where liability is a big thing, right? That's why we all have insurance, because you just don't know what's going to happen. The referee can't look at that play and say it's not a foul.
Yeah.
Because the image is there, and then people will say, well, the image is there, so how can you explain it? He can't go back and say, oh, it's soft. So he doesn't want to be liable for that moment. So the image is there. And whether you like it or not, in today's game, that's a foul, because not only he stomps his foot, but he also pulls his shirt. So it's a foul. Now, I think what Nige is alluding to, and I think this is an important point too, is that the VAR was never brought in to do that, right? So now there's like two camps forming. There's people that hate VAR, and then people that think VAR has made the game better, right? I think VAR is a very useful tool. I just think that the way they write the rules and the way they're using it currently is not consistent across the board, and that's causing a lot of the discrepancies and a lot of the problems that we're having. They don't know when and how to use it. It's getting used sometimes, not getting used other times. And like I mentioned to you earlier, to everyone, the chip in the ball, is there a chip in the ball? No. I mean, we cover football for a living. I don't know. Is there a chip in the ball? Like,
yes, there's a chip in the ball.
But only when they want the chip in the ball. And then when it rains, does the chip work? So I think the technology is ahead of what we're able to, how we're able to apply it to the game, if that makes any sense. So I think the technology is ultimately good. I think that the way we're using it maybe can be improved.
If you're given that as a foul, you're actually going 110 yards back and saying, sorry, that was a foul. We're going to disallow one of the best goals of the tournament. I think, and I can say what I want on here, I think it's utter and complete bollocks.
Yeah, it was a foul though.
No, Micah, the referee didn't give it. There was never ever enough to say sorry. That is a clear and obvious foul. I agree with
clear and obvious, but we've seen those given in the World Cup, haven't we?
But we've seen them not given, so therefore it's not a clear and obvious foul.
Once it went to VAR, he was obviously going to give it.
Of course it was, but it's never. It's not that much of a howler to say we're going to go 110 yards further back and we're going to rule that out. They're saying that's a complete and utter foul. The referee didn't give it, so the referees earlier on in the tournament were not given those fouls.
They weren't. I'm totally with you, Alan, but the problem is we will never, ever get consistency from VAR because they changed their tune. They weren't involved much at the start of the tournament. Then they want to get involved. Now they're being more involved. Now they'll probably go less involved because there'll be a bit of a stink about this one. The problem is not necessarily all the people doing VAR. The problem is VAR itself.
I agree.